Welcome, chosen ones, to this transformative journey. If you've ever felt like you're waiting for something bigger to happen in your life, then you're exactly where you need to be. In today's video, we're diving deep into divine timing, spiritual breakthroughs, and the incredible transformation that awaits you. The universe has aligned this moment for you right now, and everything you've been praying for is closer than you think. So, if you're ready to step into your divine purpose, to unlock the mysteries of your true potential, then make sure you stay with us through the entire video. It's not by accident that you're here. God's plan for your life is unfolding now, and you're about to witness miracles. Chosen one, heaven has been watching you in ways you didn't realize. Long before the world woke up, long before anyone noticed your struggles or the quiet choices you made, heaven did. While the world was wrapped up in its usual rush, heaven leaned in closely, observing your heart. Every small act of obedience, no matter how invisible it seemed, was noted in the divine ledger. Every moment when you chose surrender over self, when you got out of bed despite the weight on your chest, when you whispered a quiet thank you instead of a complaint, heaven recorded it. You may have felt invisible. Maybe no one saw the sacrifices you've made, the struggles you've carried, the quiet decisions that went unnoticed. But in the spiritual realm, those small, quiet acts are what matter most. They are the moments when your faith is proven, not by grand gestures or applause, but by your heart's response in the midst of difficulty. God wasn't looking at your performance, He was looking at your posture. Your willingness to stay faithful in the silence. Your decision to continue even when no one could see your efforts. These were the moments heaven celebrated. You might think that your obedience only counts when it's seen or recognized, but God sees beyond what is visible. He sees the heart behind the action, the deep faith that leads you to persevere, even when it feels like no one is watching. And what heaven sees in you is faithfulness, unshakable, unyielding faith. You didn't quit when you felt overwhelmed. You didn't walk away when others turned their backs. You stood firm when everything around you seemed to crumble. This morning was not just any morning. It was marked. It was a moment when heaven recognized the depth of your faith, when your perseverance, even in the quiet, was noted. Every tear you've shed, every whispered prayer, every time you chose peace over bitterness, it all mattered. It was all recorded. Your struggle didn't go unnoticed. Your surrender, even in the hardest of times, was recognized by heaven. You may not have felt like it, but you passed a spiritual inspection. Every quiet act of obedience, every instance when you refused to give in to despair, every decision to stay faithful when it would have been easier to walk away, they are your covenant testimonies. In the eyes of heaven, your faithfulness has been validated. You didn't just survive this morning, you proved something. Your quiet endurance, your choice to keep believing even when things felt unanswered, this is what made you stand out. Heaven is not moved by performance or outward success. Heaven is moved by a heart that remains loyal and steadfast in the silence. You've passed the test, not by what you did, but by your posture. You might have struggled to even get out of bed today, weighed down by the worries of life, but heaven noticed. When you whispered a prayer instead of complaining, when you chose forgiveness instead of holding on to offense, that was your moment of victory. Heaven heard it. And in that moment, heaven declared, this one is serious. This one can be trusted. In the world, we are often taught that success is measured by what can be seen, by the applause, the recognition, and the achievements that others can notice. But in heaven's economy, success is measured differently. It's measured by the consistency of your heart, by the faithfulness in your private moments, by the quiet ways you continue to surrender, even when it feels like nothing is happening. And this morning, heaven marked you as faithful, as someone who can be trusted with more, because your obedience cost you something. Your devotion wasn't contingent on rewards or recognition. It was rooted in your love for God, in your desire to honor Him, even when no one else could see your struggle. What you may not realize is that every time you chose obedience over reaction, every time you remained faithful when the world told you to give up, You were building something in the spiritual realm. You were laying a foundation for the next season of your life. Heaven was watching, and as your obedience grew, so did your capacity to receive the next level of God's blessing. Your trustworthiness was being proven. And now, heaven is preparing to elevate you. But let's pause here because this is significant. The angels have taken note of your faithfulness. They've seen your surrender. Heaven has seen how you've refused to break, even when your circumstances said otherwise. Your actions, though invisible to the world, have made a profound impact in the spiritual realm. You've made an eternal mark, one that will not be erased. You might wonder, why was my struggle so long? Why did it feel like I had to endure more than others? This is because God was not only shaping your heart, He was preparing you for something greater. Your obedience has been the foundation upon which He is now building something magnificent. You have been tested, tried, and refined. And now, you are ready for the next chapter of your journey. This morning was not just another day. It was a moment when heaven declared, "Well done." Your quiet acts of obedience have proven your heart's commitment, and that is why your faith is unshakable. It was not about the applause or the external validation. It was about your posture, your heart's alignment with God's will, your surrender in the midst of uncertainty. God doesn't grade your life based on your performance. He measures it based on your heart's response to Him. And this morning, heaven has seen that your heart is pure, your faith is steadfast, and your obedience is unyielding. You didn't just survive, you thrived in the unseen. And now, heaven is preparing to reward your faithfulness. There are moments in life when you feel like your efforts are invisible, when the things you've been doing in silence, the quiet sacrifices, the acts of faithfulness that no one sees, go unnoticed. And in those moments, it can be easy to feel as though your obedience is wasted or that it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. But what you might not realize is that in heaven, nothing goes unseen. Every small act of obedience, every quiet surrender, every sacrifice made in love and faith is being noticed and recorded. Heaven is watching, and it is in these moments, though they seem small, that your faith is being marked as unshakable. You've given so much of yourself, yet it may feel as though nothing has shifted. The prayers, the quiet moments of surrender, the forgiving heart when you felt wronged, all of it may have felt unnoticed. But heaven has seen it all. What feels insignificant to you is deeply significant in the eyes of God. You may have been going through difficult days, battling doubt, enduring struggle, but you have remained faithful, and that faithfulness, though hidden from the eyes of the world, has been recorded in the divine ledger. God sees the heart, not just the outward performance. In those moments when you wanted to give up but chose to push through, those moments when you chose peace over retaliation, kindness over bitterness, surrender over resistance, that is where God's blessing begins. Obedience is not just about doing what is right when others are watching. It is about remaining faithful when no one sees, when no one applauds, and when the outcome is uncertain. Heaven doesn't reward you for the visible acts of faithfulness alone. It is in those unseen moments that God treasures you. It is in your quiet, private obedience that the seed of divine harvest is planted. Think about this. The seeds you've been sowing in obedience, though they may seem small and unnoticed, are being cultivated for a time when the harvest will be greater than you ever expected. Every act of obedience is like a seed planted in the soil of heaven's kingdom. Some of these seeds will sprout immediately, and others will take time. But in God's perfect timing, the harvest will come. You may not see the full result of your obedience right now, but trust that it is being recorded in heaven. And the time for harvest is drawing near. The key to understanding this is recognizing that heaven's rewards are not like the world's rewards. The world praises what is seen, what is loud, obvious, and instantly gratifying. But heaven values the quiet, steadfast faith that grows in the hidden places. Your faith, though it hasn't always been celebrated by the world, is seen by the Creator of the universe. And in His eyes, it's the most valuable thing of all. As you continue to walk in obedience, even when you're not sure of the outcome, heaven is taking notice. You've passed the tests that you didn't even realize were tests. The trials you thought were sent to break, you were actually sent to strengthen you. The quiet moments of decision, when you chose to trust God despite not seeing immediate results, have proven your unshakable faith. And now, the breakthrough is coming. God's timing for your harvest is perfect. It's not delayed because of any fault of yours, but because God is preparing something even greater for you. His delay is never a denial. It's a time of refinement. A time when He's working behind the scenes to ensure that when the harvest comes, it is not only bountiful, but sustainable. The season of waiting has not been in vain. It has been a season of spiritual preparation, a time to develop the resilience, the wisdom, and the capacity to receive and steward the blessings God has for you. What you might not have realized is that the struggles you faced, the battles you fought in silence, have actually been shaping you for your destiny. The endurance you've shown in the quiet moments of obedience is exactly what qualifies you to carry the blessings God is about to pour into your life. Heaven does not reward you for the noise you make or the attention you garner. It rewards you for the quiet, faithful obedience you show when no one else is looking, when the world doesn't recognize your effort. The harvest that awaits you is far greater than you can imagine. It's not just about material blessings or external success. It's about spiritual elevation, divine alignment, and the empowerment to step fully into your purpose. You are being positioned not only to receive, but to steward what God has entrusted to you. The reward isn't just for you to consume. It's for you to give, to bless, and to share with those around you. As you continue to walk in obedience, you'll begin to notice that the provision you once chased after will begin to chase you. This isn't a promise of instant success or material wealth. It's a promise of divine provision in every area of your life. As you step into the fullness of your purpose, you will see God's hand guiding you, providing for you, and directing your path. You will no longer be striving in your own strength. You will be walking in the overflow of God's blessings, and that overflow will spill out into the lives of others. The moments of surrender that seemed insignificant will prove to be the most powerful moments in your life. The times when you chose to trust, when you decided to forgive, when you refused to let bitterness take root, those were the moments that shaped your destiny. Your obedience has created a pathway for heaven's blessings to flow into your life. And now, the time for harvest is drawing near. This is the beauty of divine recognition. It's not about what others see, it's about what God sees. And what He sees in you is unshakable faith, a heart of surrender, and a life committed to walking in obedience, no matter the cost. And because of that, your harvest will be greater than anything you could have asked for or imagined. There are moments in your life when everything seems still, when the noise of the world fades away, and all that is left is a deep, pressing silence. It's a silence that stretches on longer than you'd like, filled with unanswered prayers, unclear directions, and growing uncertainty. In these moments, it can feel like God is distant, like His presence has been withdrawn, and the promises you once held so dearly seem far out of reach. But let me tell you something. These moments are not the absence of God. They are a divine test, one that reveals your true loyalty, your faith, and your ability to endure under pressure. Silence can be one of the hardest tests in the spiritual walk. It is easy to trust when things are going well, when blessings are pouring in, when the prayers are answered with clarity and immediate results. But what happens when you're in the waiting, when the answers don't come, and the road ahead is unclear? This is where your loyalty to God is tested the most. In these times, you are not only tested in your actions but also in your heart. God doesn't just want your obedience in the good times. He wants your loyalty when things feel difficult, when the promises feel delayed, and when the silence grows louder. In the silence, there is a temptation to question, to doubt, and to wonder if God has forgotten you. It's easy to turn away in frustration, to search for answers elsewhere, to think that maybe there's something you missed or that God is withholding from you. But real loyalty isn't about the absence of doubt, it's about the decision to stay faithful even in the presence of it. Your loyalty to God is not proven when things are easy. It's proven in the times when you can't hear Him, when you don't see the fruits of your labor, and when your prayers feel like they're falling on deaf ears. It's in these moments that your true faith is forged. Loyalty in silence is not passive, it's active. It's the decision to remain steadfast when everything around you encourages you to give up. It's choosing to trust God's timing, even when it feels like everything is moving at a standstill. God is not testing you to see if you can endure suffering. He's testing you to see if you will remain loyal to Him, even when you can't understand the process. Will you continue to trust that He is good, that He is faithful, and that His plan is always for your benefit, even in the waiting? This is where endurance comes in. Endurance is not just about making it through a tough situation. It's about how you stand in the face of adversity. It's about how you hold on to God's promises when they seem far off, how you praise Him when the breakthrough hasn't come yet. True endurance is built in the silent moments, in the spaces between where you are now and where God is taking you. It's about staying grounded in your faith when the circumstances are anything but favorable. It's easy to be faithful when you can see the road ahead, when the path is clear and the promises feel close. But the real test comes when you can't see the end of the path. When the pressure mounts, when the silence grows thick, and when it seems like God has forgotten your prayers. That's when loyalty is tested. Will you still trust? Will you still obey? Will you still worship in the waiting? In those times, it may feel like everything is stacked against you. Your circumstances may scream doubt and frustration. And yet, in the midst of it all, you are called to remain steadfast. Your loyalty to God is not just about what you say, it's about what you do in the moments when everything feels uncertain. Will you still worship when the walls are high? Will you still believe when it feels like there's no way through? God is not in the habit of rewarding our actions based on their timing or outcome. He rewards loyalty. He sees the depth of your heart. The quiet moments when you choose to trust, despite not seeing the results immediately. Those are the moments that God treasures. They're the moments that deepen your relationship with Him. They're the moments that turn fleeting faith into unshakable trust. The test of loyalty under pressure also reveals your character. It reveals the true depth of your faith, and whether it's rooted in who God is or simply in what He can do for you. When everything around you crumbles, do you still believe in His goodness? When the promises seem delayed, do you still trust His timing? Loyalty is not about the absence of struggle, it's about your decision to stay anchored in God when everything else seems to shake. But this is not just a test of your endurance. It's a test of your character. Are you willing to follow God, not because of the rewards or blessings He gives, but because of who He is? Real loyalty is rooted in love, in a deep understanding that God is worthy of your trust, even when you can't see the full picture. He is not a transactional God, and the relationship He wants with you is not based on what you get out of it. It's based on a genuine relationship that honors Him regardless of circumstances. And here's the beautiful thing. The silence and pressure you've experienced are not for nothing. God is using them to refine you, to build in you a strength that can only be forged through trials. As you remain loyal under pressure, you are becoming more like Him. Your character is being shaped, your heart is being refined, and your spirit is being prepared for what's next. This period of testing is the foundation for the authority God is about to give you. Your loyalty in silence will not go unnoticed by heaven. God sees it all. He sees the sacrifices you've made, the patience you've demonstrated, and the trust you've placed in Him, even when you couldn't see the end of the journey. He is taking note of every moment, and when the time is right, He will reward you, not just for enduring, but for remaining faithful in the midst of uncertainty. So, what does this test of loyalty look like in practice? It's the moment you choose peace over panic. It's the moment you choose praise over complaining. It's the moment you keep moving forward in faith, even when everything feels like it's at a standstill. It's choosing to honor God with your life, your actions, and your words when the pressure feels overwhelming. It's the quiet, invisible moments that God treasures, and it's in these moments that your character is being shaped. As you walk through this test, know this: your endurance is creating the foundation for something beautiful. The pressure, the waiting, the silence, they are all part of the divine plan that is shaping you into the person God is calling you to be. And in the end, your loyalty will be rewarded. It's in the silence that your faith grows the most. And when the breakthrough comes, you will find that your loyalty has prepared you for the responsibility that God is about to place in your hands. You've been through it, the quiet, testing seasons that have shaken you to your core. The moments when everything seemed to stall, when you felt abandoned or ignored, when the silence of heaven seemed deafening. You've wondered why things were taking so long, why God's promises seemed far away, and why you had to endure so much. But here's the truth. It is in this silence that your spiritual muscles have been built. You may not have seen it at the time, but God has been using these seasons to prepare you for a greater purpose. And now, as the silence begins to fade and you step into the next season, you will see that it was not wasted. It was a divine setup for what's to come. The moments of silence and pressure that you've endured were not meant to crush you. They were meant to build you. God's testing is never about breaking you. It's about strengthening you. The silence wasn't an absence of God's presence. It was a refinement of your faith. You've learned to trust in God's character, not just His actions. When you couldn't see the answers, when the path seemed unclear, you chose to believe that He was still good, still faithful, and still working behind the scenes. This is the essence of loyalty. Trusting in God when you can't hear His voice, when you can't see His hand at work. It's easy to trust when things are going well, when answers are immediate, and everything falls into place. But true loyalty is revealed when there's no applause, no immediate reward, and no clear direction. It's the kind of loyalty that says, even if I can't see what's ahead, I trust that you're still in control. And this is where your trust is tested. The silence doesn't mean God is not working, it means that He is preparing you for what's ahead. There is a deeper trust that is required in the waiting. You've had to trust when you couldn't understand, when you couldn't see the results immediately. And in doing so, you've proven your faith. You've built resilience in the quiet, in the stillness, and in the silence. You've shown God that your trust in Him is not based on what you can see with your eyes, but on what you know to be true in your heart. Now, as you begin to move forward, you will see how your endurance through these seasons has prepared you for the divine trust that is about to be placed in your hands. God has been watching, taking note of your loyalty, your perseverance, and your unwavering trust in His promises. And now, because you have endured, you are being elevated into a position of greater influence and responsibility. You are being trusted with more because you've shown that you can be trusted when things are difficult, when the outcome is uncertain. This divine trust isn't just about being given more. It's about being entrusted with something far more valuable: God's authority. You've earned the right to carry His authority in your life. The challenges you've faced, the silence you've endured, have all equipped you to walk in a new level of spiritual authority. You've learned how to stand firm in the face of opposition, to remain steady in the storm, and to trust in God's perfect timing. And now, because of your endurance, you are stepping into a new level of responsibility. When God trusts you, He gives you authority. Authority to speak into situations, to influence those around you, and to lead with the wisdom and strength that He has imparted to you. But this authority isn't about power over others. It's about influence for His kingdom. It's about stepping into your purpose with a clear understanding that you have been called to make a difference, to bring healing, and to lead others into the freedom that you've found. Your life is now a testimony of what it means to endure, to trust, and to walk in divine purpose. The true test of loyalty is not in the big moments, it's in the quiet, unseen times. When your faithfulness is not rewarded immediately. When your prayers seem unanswered. And when the road ahead is unclear. But it is in these moments that your trust in God is refined and your character is built. You've proven that you can trust God, even when the answers don't come, even when you don't see the fruit of your labor right away. And this is the kind of trust that God honors. It's the kind of trust that leads to promotion, to greater influence, and to a deeper relationship with Him. As you step into this new level of trust and authority, remember that it is not your strength that has brought you here, it is God's faithfulness. You've endured because He has been with you every step of the way. Your loyalty to Him has been rewarded, not in the form of instant success, but in the form of divine trust. You are now ready to walk in a new level of purpose, one that will require all that you've learned and all that God has imparted to you in this season of silence. The pressure you've faced has been a divine setup. Every challenge, every trial, every moment of uncertainty has prepared you for this moment. You are stepping into a new season of trust, of authority, and of purpose. And with that new season comes a new responsibility to lead, to serve, and to influence others with the divine wisdom and authority you've gained. You have been tested, and now you are ready to walk in the fullness of what God has called you to. You've walked through fire, and you've come out the other side. The trials, the tests, the times of silence and waiting, they've shaped you, refined you, and brought you to this moment. And now, as you stand in the fullness of what God has prepared for you, it's time to step into the divine promotion that is waiting for you. The trials you endured were not meant to break you. They were meant to build you. They were the foundation for what you're about to step into. Divine promotion is different from what the world considers success. In the world's eyes, promotion is often about recognition, accolades, and visible rewards. But in God's kingdom, promotion comes from faithfulness, endurance, and trust. It comes from proving your loyalty to God in the face of adversity, from staying committed to your calling when no one else was watching, and from choosing to trust in His timing when everything else seemed uncertain. Now, because of your perseverance, you are being elevated to a new level of responsibility, influence, and authority. This promotion is not about having more for yourself. It's about being trusted with more of God's work on earth. God is not in the business of giving power or influence just for personal gain. He gives it to those who have proven that they can handle it, those who have been faithful in the small things, those who have trusted Him even when the road was unclear, those who have surrendered their own will in favor of His. Your promotion is a direct result of your trustworthiness in the unseen moments of your journey. Heaven has seen your heart, your obedience, your resilience, and now, the time has come for you to step into the next chapter of your divine assignment. What does divine promotion look like? It's a shift in your spiritual authority. It's the moment when you realize that God has trusted you with more, not just for your benefit, but for His kingdom. It's the moment when you begin to realize that your influence is no longer confined to your own life. It's meant to impact others, to bring light into the darkness, and to guide others toward their own purpose. Divine promotion means that you are now equipped to carry more responsibility. Responsibility that is not about status or recognition, but about serving others and fulfilling your God-given destiny. You've been in a season of preparation where God has been testing your heart, your loyalty, and your ability to handle the blessings He has in store for you. Now, you've passed the tests. You've proven your faithfulness, and as a result, God is ready to elevate you. This promotion is not something you can earn by human effort. It is a gift from God, one that comes because of your trust in His plan, your obedience to His voice, and your willingness to serve with humility. When God promotes you, He doesn't just elevate your status, He elevates your influence and the impact you can have on the world around you. Your promotion is not for your own glory, it is for His. You've been prepared for this moment, so that you can carry out his divine purpose on earth, to lead, to teach, to inspire, and to serve. The authority you are stepping into now is not just about leading with power, it's about leading with grace, with wisdom, and with the understanding that your purpose is far greater than your own success. This divine promotion comes with a shift in responsibility. God is not elevating you to make your life easier or more comfortable. He is elevating you to serve others, to guide others, and to use your influence for his kingdom. The greater your promotion, the greater your responsibility. And with this responsibility comes the need for wisdom, discernment, and a heart that remains humble, regardless of how high you are elevated. The process of promotion can be intimidating. You might feel unworthy or unprepared for the role you are about to step into. But remember, divine promotion is not about your qualifications. It's about God's call on your life and his ability to equip you. The fact that he has promoted you is a sign that he trusts you, that he believes in your ability to fulfill the mission he has entrusted to you. You may not feel ready, but God has already prepared you for this moment. You have been tested, you have been refined, and now you are ready to walk in the authority he has given you. Your promotion is also a public acknowledgement of what has been happening in the secret place. The world may not have seen the quiet moments of your obedience, the moments when you chose trust over fear, the times when you remained faithful when everything seemed uncertain, but heaven saw it all. And now, as you step into your divine promotion, it is a testament to the work God has been doing in you. It's a declaration that you have been faithful in the small things, and now, you are ready for more. God's promotion isn't just about you, it's about his purpose for the world. As you step into your new role, you will begin to see the impact of your obedience ripple outward. The people around you will begin to notice the changes in your life. They will see the wisdom, the peace, and the authority that you now walk in, and they will be drawn to the light that is shining through you. You will begin to influence not just those who are close to you, but those you haven't even met yet. Your divine promotion is not a destination, it's a new chapter in your journey. It's the moment when you are called to step fully into the purpose you were created for, and to use your position, your influence, and your authority to bring others closer to God's kingdom. As you embrace this promotion, remember that it is not for personal gain. It is for God's glory. It is about using your life, your gifts, and your influence to build his kingdom on earth. In this season, you will begin to see how the work you've done in silence, the trust you've placed in God, and the loyalty you've shown during difficult times have prepared you to carry out this next phase of your purpose. You are ready, chosen one. Your divine promotion is not just about the doors that are opening. It's about the greater purpose that God is calling you to fulfill. As you stand on the threshold of this divine promotion, there's something incredibly significant that you must recognize. This new level of authority is not for personal glory, it is for the kingdom of God. You have been entrusted with a mantle that carries responsibility, influence, and the power to impact lives in ways that will resonate for generations. The trust that God has placed in you is not just about what you can achieve or accomplish for yourself, but what you will be able to do for his people, for his kingdom, and for the future he is building through you. Divine promotion isn't simply about gaining more, it's about becoming more. It's about being shaped into the leader, the guide, the light that others need. Your journey of spiritual growth, of enduring trials, and of remaining faithful through the silence and waiting, has prepared you for this moment of elevation. Now, you're stepping into the fullness of what God has planned for you. You are stepping into the authority that he has already given you. Not just to stand tall, but to serve, to lead with wisdom, and to carry his message to those who need it the most. With this new authority, you will begin to see the profound influence you now have, not just over your own life, but over the lives of others. As you walk forward in obedience and alignment with God's will, you will notice that your words carry weight, your actions inspire, and your presence creates an environment of peace and transformation. The authority you now possess isn't one that comes from your own strength or skill. It comes from the divine grace that has been poured out into your life. It comes from God's purpose for you and the trust He has placed in you to fulfill that purpose. But here's the challenge that comes with this level of authority. The more influence you have, the greater the responsibility. It's easy to think of authority as power, but true authority is about stewardship. The more God elevates you, the more you are entrusted with. And with that trust comes the responsibility to lead with humility, wisdom, and compassion. You are not given this promotion so you can rule over others or gain personal advantage. You are entrusted with it to serve, to uplift, and to guide others on their journey. You may feel like you're not qualified to hold such responsibility. After all, you know your own weaknesses and limitations. But that's exactly why God chose you. Divine promotion isn't about being perfect. It's about being available and willing to be used by God. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't need to be flawless. You just need to be obedient, to trust in the authority God has given you, and to use it to serve others. The more you surrender to His plan, the more He will guide you, equip you, and empower you to walk in this new level of influence. In this new season of divine promotion, your life is no longer just about your personal needs or goals. It's about becoming an instrument through which God's love, grace, and power flow. Your life is now a testimony of His goodness, a reflection of the divine trust that He has placed in you. You've been elevated not just for your own benefit but to bring heaven's light to earth, to be a beacon for others to find their way, to lead them toward healing, transformation, and purpose. As you embrace this new level of authority, you will begin to see that the power you walk in is not your own. It is God's power at work through you. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of promotion and think that it's about you. But the truth is, your promotion is not about you. It's about God's plan being fulfilled through you. The more you walk in humility and submission to His will, the more you will experience the fullness of this promotion. You are a vessel for His glory, and everything that you now receive is meant to be poured out to others. God's promotion isn't just about external success. It's about spiritual elevation. It's about moving from a place of survival to a place of flourishing. The faithfulness you've shown in the past, the loyalty you've demonstrated, and the trust you've placed in God even in the silence have now opened the door for this divine promotion. You have been trusted with more, but now you must learn to steward that more with wisdom, grace, and discernment. As you walk in this new authority, you will experience a profound shift in how you see yourself and how others see you. You will begin to recognize the authority that has been placed in you not in a prideful or arrogant way, but in a deep and grounded sense of knowing who you are in Christ and the purpose He has called you to fulfill. Your identity is no longer defined by your past, your struggles, or your failures. It is defined by your divine calling and the authority that comes with it. One of the key marks of true authority is the ability to serve others. As you step into your new role, you are called to use your influence for the good of others. This authority isn't meant to elevate you above others. It's meant to empower you to lift others up. You are not just called to lead in the traditional sense, but to lead with compassion, wisdom, and a heart of service. The more you serve, the greater your influence will become. And the more you will see how God is using you to make a difference in the lives of those around you. Divine authority is not just for the big moments, it's for the everyday decisions, the small acts of service, and the quiet moments of obedience. Every choice you make in alignment with God's will is a reflection of the authority He has given you. And as you continue to walk in this authority, you will begin to see the fruit of your obedience, the lives that are changed, the people who are impacted, and the kingdom of God that is being built around you. As you walk into this new level of authority, remember this: it is not about you. It is about God's plan being fulfilled in and through you. Your promotion is a divine opportunity to impact the world around you and to bring others into the fullness of the kingdom. The greater the authority, the greater the responsibility. And as you embrace this responsibility with humility, wisdom, and a heart of service, you will find that God will continue to elevate you, not for your own glory, but for His. You've come a long way, from enduring trials that tested your faith to being promoted into divine authority. You are now on the verge of walking into the purpose you were always meant to fulfill. This is not just another season in your life. This is a new chapter, a chapter where you step fully into the calling that God has placed on your life. You are no longer the person who merely survives each day, waiting for things to change or for opportunities to knock. No, you have entered a season where you actively walk in your divine purpose. You were born for such a time as this, and now is your moment to rise up and align yourself with the mission that God has ordained for you. Walking in divine purpose isn't about chasing after success or trying to prove yourself to others. It's about living in the full knowledge of who you are in Christ and aligning yourself with the mission that He has set before you. There's a deep sense of peace that comes when you understand that you're not chasing after something you need to earn or win. The purpose God has for you is already established, and now it's your turn to walk in it with boldness, clarity, and obedience. This shift is monumental. It means no longer wandering aimlessly, unsure of where you fit in the grand picture of life. It means stepping forward with confidence, knowing that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Your purpose is not a mystery to be solved. It is a calling to be embraced. And that calling is not just about personal fulfillment. It's about serving the greater good, being a light to others, and making a tangible difference in the world around you. As you step into your divine purpose, you begin to recognize that the obstacles you faced were not distractions, they were preparation. God has been shaping you for this moment, allowing every hardship and trial to build the strength and resilience you need to walk in your calling with confidence. The waiting, the struggles, the silence, those were all part of your refining process. Now, you are ready to step into your purpose, and you are equipped with everything you need to succeed. One of the key elements of walking in divine purpose is understanding that it's not about your ability, your resources, or your own strength. It's about God's power working through you. You don't have to have all the answers, and you certainly don't need to know every step of the journey. You simply need to trust that God has already prepared the way for you. And as you step forward in obedience, He will provide the wisdom, the strength, and the resources you need to fulfill His will. Your divine purpose is not just for your own benefit. It is part of God's greater plan to bring light into the world, to restore brokenness, and to bring people closer to Him. You are an integral part of this divine mission, and the gifts, talents, and experiences you carry are meant to be used to serve others and bring glory to God. This is where true fulfillment lies, not in what you can accumulate for yourself, but in what you can give to others, in how you can impact the world for the kingdom of God. As you align yourself with your purpose, you will notice that the world around you begins to shift. Relationships that once felt strained will start to align. Opportunities that seemed out of reach will begin to open up. And, most importantly, your heart will begin to experience a peace that surpasses all understanding because you are walking in alignment with God's will. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, and there is a deep satisfaction that comes from knowing that your life is fulfilling the purpose for which it was created. One of the most powerful aspects of walking in divine purpose is that it brings a sense of clarity. When you are aligned with your calling, you no longer waste time or energy chasing after things that don't matter. You become focused, intentional, and purposeful in everything you do. Your goals shift from personal ambition to kingdom-driven priorities. You begin to see the world through a different lens, understanding that your time, energy, and resources are meant to be used for a higher purpose. This divine alignment isn't about striving, it's about surrendering. Surrendering your own will, your own plans, and your own understanding in exchange for God's will, His plans, and His perfect understanding. This surrender is where true power is found. It is not weakness. It is the key to walking in the fullness of your purpose. When you surrender to God's plan, you are free to walk in His strength and power, and you are equipped to fulfill the calling He has placed on your life. But as you walk in this divine purpose, you may encounter resistance. The enemy doesn't want you to succeed in fulfilling your calling. He will bring doubt, fear, and obstacles to try to stop you. But you have been equipped for this moment. The authority you now carry is greater than any resistance you may face. As you walk in God's purpose, you can stand firm in the knowledge that no weapon formed against you will prosper. You are covered by God's protection, and His promises will always stand. God has been preparing you for this moment. You are not here by accident. You have been called, equipped, and anointed for this divine assignment. You are stepping into your purpose with everything you need to succeed. And as you walk forward, remember that you are not walking alone. Heaven is backing you up. The angels are still at work, supporting and guiding you. The Holy Spirit is with you, empowering you to walk boldly in your calling. This is your moment, the time to rise, to take action, and to step into the divine purpose that has always been meant for you is now. The waiting is over. You are not just a follower, you are a leader, called to influence and impact the world around you. This is the time to embrace your divine assignment, to trust in God's timing, and to walk forward with the confidence that He is with you every step of the way. As you step fully into your divine purpose, you begin to understand something profound. Your life is no longer just about you. It's no longer solely about your personal dreams or aspirations. You are now a vessel for something much greater than yourself. The purpose you have been called to, the destiny that has been set before you, is not just for your own fulfillment. It is meant to impact the lives of those around you, to fulfill God's plan in the world, and to be a part of His redemptive work on earth. When you align your life with your divine purpose, you begin to recognize that the blessings God has poured into you are not meant to stay with you. They are meant to flow through you, reaching others in ways that you may not even see. You are a conduit for God's love, His grace, and His wisdom. Your purpose is not just a personal mission. It is part of a much larger divine plan that spans across nations, generations, and hearts. You are now walking as an instrument of change, not just for your own life, but for the world around you. You may have heard the saying, God doesn't bless you to keep it to yourself. That statement is foundational to understanding what it means to walk in divine purpose. The blessings, wisdom, and provision you receive are gifts, but they are also a responsibility. You are entrusted with these gifts so that you can use them to bring others into the kingdom, to help heal the brokenhearted, and to lift up those who are lost or in need. Your purpose is not just to receive abundance, it is to distribute that abundance to others in meaningful ways. At first, this may seem like a lot of responsibility. After all, you've just stepped into this new season of purpose and divine authority. But the truth is, you are not alone. God has not only called you into this purpose, but He has equipped you with everything you need to walk in it. He has given you everything you need to fulfill the divine calling on your life. And as you begin to walk in alignment with His plan, He will continue to provide. The more you give, the more you will receive. The more you pour out, the more God will replenish you. It's a divine cycle of giving and receiving that expands beyond yourself. The shift that occurs when you step into your divine purpose is one of deep responsibility. It's no longer just about your personal success or achievements. It's about how you can use the influence, resources, and blessings God has given you to impact the lives of others. You begin to realize that you have been placed in this season, in this moment, for a reason. Your experiences, your struggles, your victories, they have all been part of God's plan to position you where you are now, ready to carry out His will. In this divine alignment, you will start to see how your purpose intersects with the needs of the world around you. Your life becomes a light to others, a beacon of hope, of healing, and of transformation. You are called to lead by example, to show others the power of God's love and grace, and to be a reflection of His heart in a world that so desperately needs it. The more you walk in your purpose, the more you will see the ripple effect of your obedience. The way you live, the way you act, and the way you serve will inspire others to walk in their own divine purpose. The beautiful thing about walking in your divine purpose is that it doesn't always require grand gestures. It doesn't always require big, flashy acts. It's in the small, everyday choices to love, to serve, to forgive, and to help. It's in the moments when you step out of your comfort zone to encourage someone, share your testimony, or lend a helping hand. Your purpose is lived out in the quiet, consistent choices that reflect God's love and truth. And as you continue to live in alignment with your purpose, you will find that the world around you begins to change, not because of your own effort, but because God is working through you. One of the most impactful ways you will begin to walk in your purpose is by living a life of generosity. Generosity isn't just about money. It's about time, love, wisdom, and encouragement. It's about sharing what God has given you, whether that's a listening ear, a word of encouragement, or a financial blessing. Generosity becomes effortless when you realize that everything you have is a gift from God, and that gift was never meant to be hoarded. The more you give, the more you become a vessel of His love. The more you share, the more you experience the abundance of heaven. God's provision is designed to flow through you to others. Your life becomes a reflection of His heart when you live with a posture of generosity. You don't give because you expect to receive. You give because you have already received the abundant grace and provision of God. When you live with an open hand, offering what you have to others, you open the door for more of God's blessings to flow into your life. This is the essence of walking in divine purpose, living with an open hand, an open heart, and a willingness to serve. This new season of purpose also brings with it a deeper level of understanding about your impact in the world. It's easy to think that your purpose is just about your own fulfillment. But as you step into it, you will begin to see that your life is part of a much larger story. You were created to be a light in the darkness, to be a vessel of hope, to help others find their way to healing and purpose. The more you walk in your divine purpose, the more you will see how your actions impact those around you, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond what you can see. The beauty of walking in your divine purpose is that it is not about you, it's about God's work through you. As you step into your calling, you begin to realize that everything you do has eternal significance. The way you live, the way you love, the way you serve, all of it matters. It's part of God's greater plan. And as you step into this purpose, you begin to feel a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that your life is aligned with His will and that everything you do is part of something much larger than yourself. There are seasons in life when everything seems to be working against you. You've faced disappointment, experienced setbacks, and had dreams that seem too far out of reach. It's easy to believe that when things don't go the way you expected, they are lost causes, that those moments of struggle and failure were in vain. But in the divine economy, nothing is ever wasted. What once seemed like a delay, a setback, or even a failure is actually the moment when God is about to move in ways that will blow your mind. The struggles you've endured were never meant to keep you down. They were meant to position you for a divine reversal, a turning of circumstances that will bring you into alignment with God's ultimate plan for your life. Divine reversal is a powerful concept. It's when God takes what the enemy meant for harm and turns it for your good. What you thought was a dead-end road is actually the path to your breakthrough. What you saw as a loss is actually preparing you for gain. This is the power of God's restoration. He doesn't just heal what's broken, He makes it better than it was before. The divine reversal in your life will not only restore what you've lost, but it will elevate you to a level of purpose, influence, and blessing that you never imagined possible. You've been through enough already, haven't you? You've had moments where it seemed like nothing was working, when you couldn't see the end of the road, and when you wondered if the promises of God would ever come to fruition. But now, you're entering a new season. A season where what was once delayed, what once seemed lost, is being turned around. The walls that once stood in your way are coming down. The doors that were once closed are now opening, and the opportunities you've been praying for are beginning to unfold before you. The beauty of divine reversal is that it isn't just an external shift, it's also an internal transformation. God doesn't just change your circumstances, He changes your perspective. You see, the struggles, the disappointments, and the pain you've experienced were never wasted. They've been building your resilience, your faith, and your trust in God's timing. You've learned to rely on Him when everything seemed uncertain, to hold on to His promises when they felt distant, and to trust His goodness when it was hard to see. And now, as you step into this new season of restoration, you'll realize that the delay wasn't a denial, it was divine preparation. The spiritual concept of restoration is powerful. It's the idea that when God restores something in your life, He doesn't just give it back to you as it was. No, His restoration is a divine upgrade. If you've lost something, whether it's relationships, opportunities, or resources, God's promise is that He will restore it to you, but not just in its original form. He will restore it in a way that exceeds your expectations. The pain you've endured will be transformed into strength, the setbacks into opportunities for growth, and the things that were taken from you will be returned with greater purpose. But here's the truth. You must be willing to receive the restoration. You must open your heart to the divine reversal and trust that God's timing is perfect. The temptation in times of struggle is to give up, to believe that the setback defines you, that the loss is final. But God is about to reverse the situation in ways that will astound you. The blessing that is coming isn't just for you to enjoy in isolation. It's for you to be a blessing to others. This is a season of influence, a season of expansion, and a season of living out the legacy that you were always meant to create. Now is the time for you to step into what has been prepared for you. The waiting is over. The divine reversal has begun. Where you once saw failure, you will now see success. Where you once saw doors closed, you will see opportunities open. Where you once felt stuck, you will now feel propelled forward with divine momentum. God is taking the broken pieces of your life and creating something far more beautiful than you ever imagined. The first step in this restoration process is realizing that you are no longer defined by what you've lost. God is not restoring you to your former self. He's restoring you to the version of yourself that is fully aligned with your divine calling, the person who has been refined and strengthened through trials. The lessons you've learned along the way are not just for your benefit, they are the foundation for what God is now about to do through you. You've been prepared to lead others, to guide them through their own struggles, and to share the testimony of God's faithfulness in your life. One of the most powerful aspects of this divine reversal is that it brings not just external change, but an internal shift. You've been molded and shaped by the difficulties you've faced. The character you've developed through adversity has prepared you to handle the blessings that God is now releasing into your life. You are no longer the person who struggled in silence. You are the person who endured, who overcame, and who trusted in God when everything seemed uncertain. God's restoration doesn't just bring back what you lost. It brings healing to your heart, peace to your mind, and clarity to your purpose. It is a comprehensive healing that touches every area of your life, your relationships, your finances, your health, and your calling. You are being restored, not just externally, but in every part of who you are. This restoration will elevate you to new heights of influence, impact, and opportunity. As you step into this new season, remember that the divine reversal is not just about personal gain. It's about God's kingdom being advanced through your life. You are being restored to fulfill a greater purpose, to use the blessings you receive to bless others. The impact of your divine reversal will extend beyond you, touching the lives of those around you and creating a ripple effect of God's grace, restoration, and love. You've made it to the other side. You've endured, you've trusted, and now, as you step into the season of divine reversal, you are about to see things shift in ways you never expected. The setbacks you once saw as failures, the delays that caused frustration and doubt, are now being transformed into opportunities. What once seemed like defeat is now being turned into your victory. This is the powerful nature of God's restoration. It is a complete turning around of circumstances, not just for your good, but for His glory. As you embrace this divine reversal, you begin to realize that God's restoration is not just about bringing you back to where you were. It's about taking you further, elevating you to a place where you can fulfill your divine calling in ways that you never imagined. The harvest that was delayed is now on the brink of being released. The dreams you thought were lost are now coming to fruition, and the promises you've held onto for so long are about to be fulfilled in a way that exceeds your expectations. You may look back on the seasons of waiting and wonder, why did it take so long? The answer is this: God was working in you and for you, preparing you for what was to come. The delay wasn't denial. The silence wasn't abandonment. It was all part of the divine setup. God was preparing your heart, refining your spirit, and positioning you for greater things. He was also preparing the right opportunities, relationships, and resources to align with His perfect plan for you. The wait wasn't about punishment, it was about preparation. Now, as the divine reversal unfolds, you will begin to see how God is shifting your circumstances, bringing the things you've longed for into alignment with His perfect timing. What once seemed impossible will now be possible. The obstacles that once blocked your path are being removed. The financial struggles, relational tensions, and emotional burdens that have weighed you down are being lifted. You are stepping into a new season where God's promises are not just a distant hope, they are becoming your reality. This shift doesn't happen all at once. It's a process, one that requires your active participation. You must choose to embrace the new opportunities that are coming your way, even if they look different than what you expected. You are entering a season of restoration. And restoration is not about going backward to reclaim what you've lost. It's about moving forward into the fullness of what God has for you. The plans He has for you are greater than anything you've imagined, and the restoration He is bringing into your life is just the beginning of a new chapter. As the divine reversal takes place, you will see how your perspective begins to shift. You will no longer see your past mistakes or failures as stumbling blocks. You will see them as stepping stones. Everything you've been through, every struggle, every challenge, every moment of doubt, all of it has been a part of God's plan to bring you to this point. The lessons learned in the waiting, the perseverance built through the pressure, the trust developed in the silence, all of it is now setting you up for this moment of elevation. You are being positioned to influence, to lead, and to impact those around you in ways that you never thought possible. As you step into your purpose with a renewed sense of confidence and clarity, you will begin to see how your life is now a testimony to God's faithfulness. You have not been restored for your own benefit alone. You have been restored to become a vessel of God's grace and a living example of His redemptive power. Your life is now part of the story of restoration that is unfolding in the world. This new season will not be without challenges, but you will face them with a new strength. The authority you carry, the resilience you've built, and the wisdom you've gained will enable you to navigate the new opportunities that come your way with confidence. You will no longer be afraid of setbacks or obstacles. You will see them for what they truly are: opportunities for growth, strength, and further alignment with God's purpose for your life. The divine reversal is not just a change in your circumstances, it's a shift in your very being. It's a renewal of your mind, a restoration of your spirit, and a realignment of your heart with God's will. As you walk forward in this new season, you will feel the power of His presence surrounding you, guiding you, and equipping you to fulfill the purpose you were always meant to walk in. What once seemed like loss will now be seen as gain. The hardships you've endured will be transformed into testimonies of God's faithfulness. You will begin to see how everything that was lost, every moment of hardship, every challenge you faced, was part of God's divine preparation for the greatness He has in store for you. The setbacks you once mourned are now stepping stones to a future that is full of hope, purpose, and divine fulfillment. You are now positioned for your divine assignment. The resources, the relationships, and the opportunities you need to fulfill your purpose are aligning with God's perfect timing. You are no longer walking in the shadow of your past struggles. You are walking in the fullness of the promises God has made to you. The time for waiting is over. The time for fulfillment is now. God's divine reversal is a powerful work of restoration, not just in your circumstances, but in your spirit. He is doing something new in you, something that will transform not only your life, but the lives of those you touch. The story of your struggle will become the testimony of God's faithfulness. The story of your delay will become the story of divine timing. And as you walk forward in this new season, you will know, with certainty, that this is just the beginning of a journey filled with promise, purpose, and divine favor. Thank you so much for joining us on this divine journey today. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We want to keep spreading these life-changing insights to those who need it the most. Your support helps us reach more people, and together, we can create a wave of transformation that will ripple across the world. If you're ready to embrace the transformation that's unfolding in your life, let us know in the comments below. Remember, your breakthrough is coming, and we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Stay aligned, stay faith-filled, and see you in the next video.